Today we'll be discussing the disorder of Fragile X syndrome. An overview of Fragile X syndrome. It's the most common genetic disorder among males, and of course there are some females who get the disorder, but it's mostly males. It has a ratio of 1 for 4,000 males and 1 for 8,000 females. It causes learning disabilities and cognitive impairment. It has no physical effects on people because it only affects their mental abilities. This occurs when a segment of DNA is repeated too many times, and that causes the abnormal repetition for a gene created Fragile X mental retardation protein, which leads to these symptoms, such as intellectual disabilities ranging from mild to severe. It depends on how many times the DNA segment was repeated. Sensory integration problems, anxiety, unstable mood, autistic behaviors, attention deficiency, speech delay, and that causes for people who are affected by the disorder to look a certain age, but their mental ways are much younger than what they appear. Now we have two models. This is the meiosis of the father and mother, who each have one Fragile X syndrome a chromosome in them. So we have one father, he has an X and Y, he goes through replication, and he goes through the homologous chromosomes separate, and then the sister chromatids turn into the form sperm cells. But see, there are two Fragile X chromosomes while there are two normal Y chromosomes, and that leads to the 50% chance for your child to have the disorder. And there's also the mother, who has one normal X and one Fragile X chromosome, and after going through meiosis, she also has the 50% chance of giving her child the meiosis. And this is how the inheritance works, where if the mother has two X who's a carrier of the disorder and the father is not a carrier, there's a 50% chance for either the son or daughter to get the disorder due to the mother having it completely. So now to answer the question, yes, it is possible to have more than one child who does not inherit Fragile X syndrome, due to the fact that first off, it doesn't affect that many people. It's 1 for 1,000 males and 1 for 8,000 females. And also it's a 50% chance that your child will get the disorder. And that is due to the fact that it affects like 50% because of the mother carrying. If the mother is carrying it, then it'll probably affect one son, as you can see here, in 50% of a child. Or like a child could have one X chromosome if the mother is a carrier. And if both parents are carriers, your child is most likely going to be carrying the disorder. But if one half of the mother is carrying it, one child, and it just depends. And now we're going to watch a video of a girl who was completely healthy, but her brother has Fragile X syndrome.
It's just weird having a brother that has Fragile X, because like all these weird things end up happening, and then like if we want to go to the toy store, then it's like always like a big fight, because then he's not quite sure what he wants, and then it gets into a big argument, and it takes us so long to get home. Or like if he wants to watch a movie and I want to watch like a show on TV that I don't get to see, then he'll like get really mad, and then it's a big tantrum. So it's like hard to get used to, but once you do, sort of like normal, you're not surprised.
James and Taylor are buddies. They are very close. They're actually fairly close in age. My younger one is 2.5, and Taylor's 4.5. And since he's behind in his development a little, they're actually fairly close in age, even though they were born 2 years apart. So they're buddies. They get along really well. And James will help Tay sometimes, and other times Taylor will watch his little brother, and just with a smile on his face, he adores him.
This shows this family has two or three children, we're not very sure, who have, one child is completely fine, but one child has the disorder. But like the child is completely fine except for their mental retardation, and that just affects them. And yep, that's it.